Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to Rashman Productions. This is Comic Week with God Spectre himself, where I talk about everything comics, everything movies, and everything superheroes. So, before we jump into all the news from DC this time, I would like to ask you to do me a favor, and that is, of course, sub to the channel. And also, if you want me to talk about something, a topic, or a question that you have in mind regarding comics, regarding comic book movies, you can ask it in the comments. And or maybe some news that I missed out, or maybe something that you wanted to see and have my take on it, my opinion on it, you can leave that question in the comments. Anyways, let's start with a big news from DC. So this week there was a Comic Con in San Diego, which is the biggest Comic Con all around the world, and most of the time Marvel and DC both have their panels there. They announced their stuff which happened last time, and at that same day last year Doctor Doom was revealed. RDJ was revealed to be playing Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. So that was a big thing that Marvel announced last year. Whereas this time there was no Marvel panel nor a DC panel, there was just a Peacemaker panel at San Diego Comic Con this week. So they revealed the Peacemaker trailer, and the Peacemaker trailer also revealed that there will be heavy involvement of the multiverse in this one. And keeping that in mind, how does this connect to season 1 of the Peacemaker? So James Gunn came out and said that all the things that will be mentioned in the season 2 are only canon, not the entire season 1, but all the things that will be mentioned in season 2, all the things or the flashbacks that they show are the only canon things for Peacemaker season 2 and the DCU as of whole. And James Gunn also revealed that there will be a cameo, or there will be some major cameos in this one. In this season 2 of Peacemaker, there might be a character that we have already seen in the DCU pop up in this. I mean, of course, we know Rick Flag Sr. will be in this season of Peacemaker, but also there will be another cameo. Some might speculate that it can be Superman. I'm putting my bets on Superman. It is Superman. I think it is Superman, but there can be other reveals of characters as well. Even the screenings of the press weren't allowed to watch the later episodes, episodes 6, 7, and 8, because they potentially have something so revealing or something so crazy that they didn't give the press the ending episodes to see and react. And so honestly, I don't know what they're cooking, because in the trailer of season 2 we actually see like these dimensional gates, these dimensional doors to another universes, and there are over 100, already 100 universes in this DCU. James Gunn has revealed that, or like the news that came out of the DCU has revealed that. And I think it's a unique thing to do, which is to launch the multiverse via a TV show. I think it is a unique approach, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine to see it. I'm excited to see it. I'm also interested too. And with that, James Gunn also revealed, or like he posted, like this mural painting of all these heroes on the Hall of Justice in the Superman movie. So in the Superman movie, at the Hall of Justice, there is this mural painting of around some 25 characters that are metahumans, might not be metahumans, might just be regular humans acting as superheroes, just like Batman and Green Arrow. And there were like these two paintings of these heroes on the Hall of Justice in Superman, which is funded by Maxwell Lord at this point. So he posted those two pictures on Twitter or on social media. So let's discuss what these characters were first, from left to right. So let's start. So the first one is Sister Symmetry, second is Silent Knight, the third one is Exoristos, the fourth one is Black Pirate, then the next one is Miss Liberty, the next is Whip Whirlwind, the next one is Super Chief, then the next one is El Diablo, then the next is Hugo Danner, possibly, but can also be Iron Monroe. I'm not sure of it. Then the next is Ghost of Flanders. Then the next is Sandman. one, which is Wesley Dodds. Then the next is Amazing Man, and the last one is Zatara the Magician. Now all these characters are in the DC, of course, in the timeline of the DC universe, in the timeline of Superman, in the timeline of Creature Commandos, in the timeline of Peacemaker. So all these heroes are acting in the DC or have acted as heroes, as protectors of this world for the past 300 years or maybe more than that, because in Superman movie we get to know that superhumans or metahumans are active on Earth since the last 300 years. So these are some of them. Then the next panel is Liberty Bell, Bullet Man and Bullet Girl, Max Mercury, TNT and the Dan the Dynamite, Phantom Lady, Atomic Knight, Freedom Beast, Wildcat, Vibe, Gunfire, and at the end Maxwell Lord himself. So I mean, of course, Maxwell Lord has funded the Justice Gang, and that is why he has also kept himself in the mural painting, because even he sees himself as a visionary and he wants to be included in this panel of heroes. So it is interesting to see all these characters that are essential for the DC comics, because many of these are very deep characters that are not so surface level. Like even I didn't know many of these characters. In fact, I don't know many of them. And so that is why if you want to have a deep explanation or have a general idea of all these characters, you can go and watch Casually Comics video on this. She has posted like these shorts of about explaining all these characters in detail. So go and check out Casually Comics. She has posted the videos on all these characters. She has explained them. So shout out to Casually Comics. Check that video out. She does a great explanation explaining them. And James Gunn also revealed that two of the characters that are involved in this mural painting will be involved in a future DC project directly and have a major part in it. So I do think, of course, it might be Maxwell Lord, because we saw him in Peacemaker trailer also. We saw him in, Superman as well. But I think if we disregard Maxwell Lord, I think it might be Zatara and the Sandman, or it might be Wildcat too, because Wildcat and Sandman are the founding members of the Justice Society of America, which can be good to see. If a Justice Society movie, it would be great. We have had a Justice League movie and that's it. That is the only team up movie we have ever had from DC. Marvel has many. They have many Avengers films. But with DC, it's just one. It would be finally great to see another superhero team which has been a legacy of all these superheroes, of all these ideas from the Silver Age to the modern age of comics. It would be interesting to see a Justice Society movie, or at least like that group play out. Recently, of course, we saw Justice Society in Black Adam, but that was still a very constructed point of view. It was kind of like the Justice Gang in Superman. It wasn't fully fleshed out Justice Society. So I would love to see that. Then Sinestro will appear in the Lanterns series. So an actor has finished filming as Sinestro for the Lanterns. I believe in this whole thing, Sinestro might not be the Yellow Lantern yet. I'm guessing he might be, because the Hal Jordan is quite older in this one. So the Sinestro might have already turned towards the Yellow Lanterns. So let's see. And it will be interesting to see that what is interesting about the DCU, that we are already in this pool of characters. We do not have these introductions. We do not have these origin stories. We are just put midst this world full of heroes, full of superhumans, full of metahumans. And I think that is interesting. And so that is why to see a Sinestro already be a Yellow Lantern would be nice, because the Lantern series is mostly a John Stewart storyline, which is like the Green Lantern after Hal Jordan. So the Hal Jordan part of the story is already been done, and the story and like the series may play out as Hal Jordan being a mentor to, you know, John Stewart and maybe Guy Gardner as well. Even he's coming in the Lanterns. So let's see. I am genuinely excited for the Lanterns because I believe it has great potential, and all the different lanterns, the blue lanterns, the black lanterns, the white lanterns, the yellow lanterns, red lanterns, the whole dynamic, the whole spectrum is amazing, and how they kind of cancel each other off, even that's amazing. So I would love to definitely see Sinestro and also other lanterns in the Lantern series. And just a last thing from DC is that the Mr. Handsome that we see in the Superman movie, so it was revealed that Mr. Handsome is actually a lab experiment by Lex Luthor in order to produce like a superhuman being. And I mean, the experiment doesn't go well, but it ends up creating Mr. Handsome, and that is why I also see his photo at Lex Luthor's desk. I mean, he kind of has a caring, a sentiment towards Mr. Handsome because Lex, he himself created him. This also gives us a very major point, like a early point for Superboy, which is actually a genetic kind of child between Lex Luthor and Superman. I mean, it's weird, it sounds weird, but that's Lex Luthor, he can't do anything. Anyways, that was all from DC, and now let's go on to Marvel. So, Brand New Day has started shooting. They have started shooting in different places. Some of the shooting was going on in Europe, and at the same time, Punisher's special presentation is also being shooted. They are also filming that, and there is a heavy chance that might be, this is a rumor, this is speculation, that Tom Holland Spider-Man might appear in the Punisher special presentation, or maybe even Daredevil Born Again Season 2. It's a speculation, but since Punisher is appearing in Spider-Man, let's see how that kind of rolls out, if they introduce Spider-Man in the special presentation or they just directly put Punisher in, Brand New Day. And I mean, yeah, so they have started shooting it. They are shooting many scenes here and there. And of course, as you know, it involves the Hulk, Punisher, Spider-Man, and also might be involving, or we might just get a cameo of Daredevil. So, and also Kevin Feige revealed that many of the old X-Men characters or the old X-Men actors of the particular characters will appear in Doomsday. I mean, we of course know that. We saw the casting in the chair reveal that they famously did, which was like an 8-hour long live stream. I mean, come on, who would sit through that? No idea. But yeah, so many of the old X-Men actors are reappearing for their roles in this Avengers movie, and also many of the heroes, like from the main 616 timeline, will go into Earth 828, and that was revealed by Kevin Feige himself. So let's see how that story plays out, because in Earth 828, it was the only kind of planet where the only superheroes are the Fantastic Four. Everything else were like just super powered kind of villains, or not heroes particularly. So the only well-known heroes in Earth 828 were Fantastic Four. And now with the characters and the heroes from Earth 616, what will happen? And this also makes me think, like, so what is that spaceship at the end of Thunderbolts? Because you clearly see that is a Fantastic Four spaceship and it comes to 616. So why are again these people going to 828? I don't know. Let's see. It's kind of questioning. It also kind of seems like the 616 timeline doesn't like figure out multiversal hopping, and they kind of figure out when Earth 828, like that Fantastic Four spaceship from Earth 828 enters, I guess. So I don't know. I'm pretty now I think that is also an interesting point to figure out, that who will figure out multiversal kind of jumping in Avengers Doomsday, or at least from Earth 616, or like which character will introduce that? I mean, I think the Hulk can, like the smart Hulk can, he can try. But other than that, I don't see a potential kind of character who will introduce the other heroes of like the basics, or like who will invent multiversal travel. I don't see anyone because they do not have a Fantastic Four. And so the guess is Reed Richards from Earth 828 unlocks this kind of multiversal travel. They go to Earth 616, introduce them with it, and then like yeah, they just go on to save, you know, Franklin Richards from Doom. So let's see how that goes. And yes, that was just some news from Marvel, nothing more. And I would like to just say a few words about the whole super fantastic thing that happened this July. And I mean, literally, it was super and it was fantastic. Both the movies were amazing, both the movies were vibrant, which I absolutely love. I love to see color in the eyes because for the past few years, especially after Endgame, the Marvel shows were amazing. Like literally, they weren't a letdown. But the Marvel movies that came out after Endgame were like, I mean, I don't know, it felt messy to the eyes. Like the CGI felt messy to the eyes. Whereas with Superman and Fantastic Four, the CGI felt clean, I would say. Like it wasn't overdone CGI, it was just perfectly placed. Yes, this is the amount of CGI we need, and it's good to the eyes because I feel Quantum Mania, I feel even Thor Love and Thunder, these movies were too much of CGI in the eyes. You know, it was like they're doing too much, man. It felt too overwhelming to the eyes, but not to the brain. It felt quite simple, yet too much. And I think that is the reason kind of people were distancing themselves from watching Marvel movies because it just didn't feel as a Marvel movie. Whereas Fantastic Four felt like a fresh universe, a flesh kind of plate being served to you of food, and it was amazing. It was fantastic to see that movie along with Superman. I mean, of course, the whole Super Fantastic was amazing, and with that, it also kind of makes me believe that these two movies, it was good that they came out together. They came out at a time of this kind of changing of the whole comic book movie genre, because comic book movies are not just sci-fi supernatural mystic movies. They are literally genre defining movies. They have action, they have loads and loads of CGI, they have animation. With Spider-Verse, we see the animation is top notch. We have mystery thrillers in shows. It's just, and we are expanding on so much more. Comic book movies have so much potential. They have so much intricacies in themselves. They can divide themselves into so many genres, so many sub kind of niches of movies that become genre defining, that become like these defining movies of something. And that is the beauty of comic book movies, that is the beauty of comic books, that if you pick up a comic, you read that, you feel something different, you feel like it's a new world, even while it being a part of it. So every time you see or read a Daredevil comic, even though it's set in New York along with Spider-Man, it has a different tone. Even though Spider-Man is a, you know, web swinging your friendly neighborhood guy, at the same city you have a Punisher who's literally brutally murdering people down the street because they committed some atrocities. And it is literally unique world to live in because you see the perspectives of all these heroes, and not just these heroes but the civilians living with them, their perspective through the hero's eyes. And all of these heroes kind of converge at one point at like a Secret Wars level or like a Doomsday level thing. And then when you see all these flavors interact, you kind of have fun about, you know, what a Batman flavor might bring, what a Superman flavor might bring, and how do they act together in this Justice League. So I think that is super important, and I genuinely believe Superman and Fantastic Four brought that to the table for superhero movies as of whole. And I genuinely like that. do believe that Super Fantastic was a benchmark for comic book industry, for comic book movies, because from this point forward we have to just do more brilliance and be more super fantastic, because this really was like a bliss, a sweet candy which is not too sweet, or else it would just mess up your taste. But it was just the perfect amount of sweet you could have and enjoy the flavors as well. And I do believe that these two movies set a benchmark for the industry, not just the industry but for the people, for their expectations about where the comic book movies are pivoting towards vibrance, towards unity, towards hopefulness, towards good, towards family. And I think that is super important as of now. And so that is why I literally just loved Superman and Fantastic Four. And I would love to see more comic book movies in such a vibrant and a flavorful way. So, yes, it was super fantastic. And that's it. I'll see you in the next.